A bullet leaves a rifle with a muzzle velocity of 1.21 meters per second. While accelerating through the barrel of the rifle, the bullet moves a distance of 0.84 meters. Determine the acceleration of the bullet. And then, a second question, how much time does it take to accelerate to this speed? Well, there are actually two questions here, but I can use the same givens multiple times. So for example, the bullet, while it is in the chamber, I know its velocity initial equals 0 meters per second. I know that the distance that the bullet travels is 0.840 meters, and I know that the velocity final here as the bullet leaves the barrel, the velocity final here equals 521 meters per second. So velocity initial equals 0 meters per second. Displacement in the x is 0.840 meters, and velocity final is 541 meters per second. So in order to solve both of these problems, I can use the same givens, but the unknown changes. So the first question, the unknown asks, what is the acceleration? The second question asks, what is the time? In order to solve the first one, I'm going to pick the equation that includes velocity initial, velocity final, displacement, and acceleration. And that is velocity final squared minus velocity initial squared equals 2 times acceleration times displacement. Alright, velocity final is 541 squared minus 0 squared equals 2 times acceleration times displacement. Well, 0 squared is 0, so that blows up. But 541 squared gives me a number 271,441. That equals, and now if I take 2 times 0.840, I get 1.68. But that's still multiplied by the acceleration. So in order to get acceleration all by itself on the right hand side, I'm going to divide by 1.68. And I do that so that I can cancel. Now whatever I do to the right, I must do to the left as well. When I dump that in my calculator, I find that acceleration in the x is 161,572.02 meters per second squared. At this point, we can start looking at our sig figs. That doesn't count. This has 3 sig figs, and this has 3 sig figs. So my answer is going to have 3 sig figs. And so that means that if I significant figure this answer, I get 162. But now I need to include zeros that are not significant. to make sure that the 1, the 6, and the 2 are in the correct place. The second problem, dealing with time, requires a different equation. So the equation that I'm going to look for that deals with all of these things is velocity final, velocity initial plus velocity final divided by 2, that's average velocity, equals d divided by t. Now you might go, Faye, we just figured out acceleration. Wouldn't it be smarter to choose an equation that deals with just our givens as opposed to some math we've done before? If we goof this, we're guaranteed to goof the next question. So now let's replace numbers for letters. Velocity initial is 0 plus 5, 4, 1. That whole quantity divided by 2, and that equals distance divided by time, and distance is 0.84 meters. Okay, if I simplify the left-hand side, I get 270.4, but that equals the right-hand side. .840 divided by t. In order to get t all by itself on the right-hand side, I'm going to multiply by t on both sides. That cancels. But whatever I do to the left, I must do to the right. So I get 270.4 t equals 0.840. In order to get t all by itself on the left-hand side, I'm going to divide by 270.4. And I do that so that these numbers cancel, but whatever I do to the right, I have to do to the left as well. 270.4. And I find that time equals 0.003225. And if I sig fig that to 3 significant figures, I get 0.00322 seconds.